In episode 239 of Swallowed Star, Luo Feng faced the hostility of nearly 100,000 geniuses, yet still seized the lead in Duan Donghe's inheritance trial. As the Rhinoceros Emperor Game began, elites from countless races gathered inside the life and death corridor of the tomb boat, all fighting for the one opportunity that could allow their race to transcend reincarnation. For thousands of years, a silent war unfolded, with Luo Feng standing against almost the entire universe ocean. Duan Donghe's selection was merciless. As more candidates entered, elimination became increasingly brutal, and Luo Feng's extraordinary talent quickly made him the greatest threat in everyone's eyes. After 500 years of cultivation, Luo Feng finally solved the 1000th game, becoming the first candidate to cross the first major bottleneck and satisfy Duan Donghe's minimum requirement. Almost no one had expected him to remain ahead for so long. Duan Donghe's true body suddenly appeared and publicly announced Luo Feng's achievement, shocking everyone present. To protect such an exceptional candidate, he summoned a palace formed from golden secret patterns around Luo Feng and issued an absolute command. Anyone who attacked Luo Feng would be immediately eliminated and killed. The palace radiated terrifying pressure. Even Universe Masters and Universe Supreme Masters trembled before it, knowing none of them could break through its protection. The 500-year hunt against Luo Feng finally ended. Now completely protected, Luo Feng showed no fear toward those who hated him. He openly challenged the Universe Masters who had once tried to kill him, declaring that the inheritance would belong to him. Whatever the other faction's plan no longer mattered. His only goal was to continue comprehending the trial and win humanity the chance to transcend reincarnation. News quickly reached the human race. Giant Axe Founder, Chaos City Leader, Darkness Master, Ice Mountain Master, and other human powerhouses gathered in the virtual universe to congratulate him. They understood the importance of this inheritance. If Luo Feng obtained it, humanity could potentially surpass the two ancient holy lands and rise to the top of the universe ocean. They urged him to ignore outside conflicts and focus completely on the trial, assuring him that humanity would always stand behind him. While everyone celebrated, the primal ancestor quietly watched. Although he possessed overwhelming strength and had once reached a level capable of challenging reincarnation, permanent suppression prevented him from helping humanity directly. He could only watch the younger generation struggle for the race's future. Even so, he continued studying the Rhinoceros Emperor Game while observing Luo Feng, hoping this opportunity could finally change humanity's destiny. Luo Feng did not relax after taking the lead. Instead, he changed his cultivation method. He spent 80% of his time studying the Rhinoceros Emperor Game and 20% studying the supreme techniques hidden in the Ninth Abyss secret space, allowing both paths to reinforce each other. His foundation was already terrifying. After hundreds of years cultivating near the black pattern stone pillars under 3,000 times time acceleration, his mastery of the secret pattern diagram school had reached the peak universe master level. He had created 6 strongest secret techniques, while his beast god path had nearly reached completion at the 7th level. Yet Luo Feng deliberately refused to break through. He understood that Duan Donghe judged candidates differently according to cultivation level. The requirements placed upon Universe Venerables were far lower than those placed upon Universe Masters or Universe Supreme Masters. By suppressing his realm, Luo Feng could face a lower trial standard while retaining greater potential for improvement. Meanwhile, he continued strengthening his willpower to prepare for even harder stages. Luo Feng's lead drove the entire universe ocean into madness. Instead of continuing to waste their strength trying to kill him, the major factions ordered their greatest geniuses to focus entirely on cultivation. The life and death corridor became a silent battlefield where every candidate fought for the survival of their race. Soon Duan Donghe announced the second qualified candidate, Bloodjade, a quasi-universe master from the East Emperor Holy Land. To everyone's surprise, Bloodjade was only a universe venerable. Yet he had surpassed 7 universe supreme masters and nearly 200 universe masters. This confirmed an important truth. The stronger one's cultivation realm, the harder Duan Donghe's requirements became. Bloodjade's success was not accidental. The East Emperor Holy Land could only support a limited number of universe masters, leaving many ancient experts trapped at the universe venerable level despite possessing incredibly deep understanding and experience. Bloodjade was one of them. Though his cultivation appeared low, his foundation had been accumulated across countless years. His rise gave the Holy Lands new hope and provided Luo Feng with a genuine rival. Over the following thousands of years, more candidates succeeded. Snow Yu from the Second Reincarnation Era, Yuzan of the East Emperor Holy Land, and Luo Feng's old enemy, Deer Insect Master, all crossed their first bottlenecks. Eventually, the Glutton Demon Master became the first Universe Supreme Master to satisfy his own 2000 game requirement. The number of qualified candidates quickly increased from dozens to more than 200. Humanity's leaders began to worry. The more candidates who qualified, the weaker Luo Feng's early advantage became. But Giant Axe founder remained calm. He believed temporary numbers meant little in a trial lasting thousands of years. What truly mattered was comprehension, foundation, and ultimate potential. Luo Feng soon proved him right. After changing his cultivation method, his progress accelerated enormously. He had needed 500 years to solve the first 999 games, but only another 2,500 years to cross the 2,000 game mark. Even the primal ancestor was shocked. The 2,000 game level represented a fundamental bottleneck for Universe Supreme Masters. Countless powerful beings could spend their entire lives without reaching it. Yet Luo Feng had broken through in only 3,000 years. Duan Donghe then announced a new ranking system. Those who crossed the first bottleneck became outer candidates. Those who crossed the second became elite candidates. Above them were core candidates and, ultimately, the true inheritor. Anyone capable of crossing the fourth bottleneck at 6,000 games would directly receive the complete Duan Donghe inheritance, without further competition. At that moment, Luo Feng was the only person to have crossed the second bottleneck. He became the sole elite candidate. 5,000 more years passed, and eventually 298 people crossed the first bottleneck. Then Bloodjade Venerable shocked everyone again by crossing the second bottleneck and becoming the second elite candidate. The competition had finally become a battle between two leading geniuses. The entire East Emperor Holy Land placed its hopes on Bloodjade. Even the East Emperor ancestor promised that if Bloodjade proved worthy, the Holy Land would spare no cost to help him break through and eventually transcend reincarnation. Bloodjade threw everything he possessed into catching Luo Feng. Luo Feng responded by pushing himself even harder. He returned to the Black Pattern Stone Pillar region, enduring more than 10,000 times time acceleration and terrifying pressure on his consciousness. Again and again he approached collapse. Eventually, his will underwent a complete transformation and reached the level of a Universe Supreme Master. With stronger willpower, Luo Feng's deduction speed, concentration, comprehension, and ability to create secret techniques rose dramatically. While most other candidates remained trapped, Luo Feng continued advancing toward the 3,000th game. The primal ancestor finally became convinced that Luo Feng's potential had not yet reached its limit. His comprehension, temperament, and foundation were already enough to compete for the full inheritance and perhaps even transcend reincarnation. Another unexpected candidate, Waterhim Master from the Second Reincarnation Era, eventually rose into the top 3. But Luo Feng remained ahead. He successfully solved the 3,000th game and crossed the third bottleneck, becoming the only core candidate. Duan Donghe appeared visibly moved. Luo Feng had crossed 3 major bottlenecks within only a single era. His comprehension and talent reminded Duan Donghe of himself at his own peak. To Duan Donghe, Luo Feng had become the peerless successor his lineage had waited countless years to find. He immediately declared a new rule. Luo Feng would be given 3 eras. If he crossed the 4th bottleneck during that time, every other candidate would be killed and Luo Feng would directly inherit everything. The pressure became unbearable. Countless geniuses cultivated desperately, yet almost none could progress. Near the deadline, Bloodjade Venerable finally crossed the 3rd bottleneck as well, becoming Luo Feng's only true rival. At one point, a Universe Master lost hope and attacked Luo Feng in madness. The protective 3-colored palace instantly annihilated him. The primal ancestor continued watching Luo Feng's rapid transformation, and began wondering whether the mysterious heritage of Earth and Mountain-sitting guest concealed even greater secrets. Finally, the 3-era deadline ended. Luo Feng had reached the 3,911th game, but failed to cross the 4th bottleneck. The final results were fixed. 2 candidates crossed the third bottleneck, 5 crossed the second, and 292 crossed only the first. Duan Donghe began his ruthless elimination. Tens of thousands of candidates who had failed the minimum requirement were instantly erased. Only 299 remained. The final gate opened, and Luo Feng entered the ultimate inheritance hall alongside the survivors. Duan Donghe sat upon his throne and announced that they could finally come into contact with the true inheritance. Everyone had different plans. Only one person could receive the complete inheritance, so many weaker candidates hoped to steal information about transcending reincarnation before self-destructing and allowing their avatars outside to preserve what they had learned. But before the inheritance began, Duan Donghe stopped everyone and questioned the 7 Universe Supreme Masters. He explained that his inheritance placed extremely strict requirements on the structure of a miniature universe. Those who had not yet formed one could still receive guidance and alter their future path. But Universe Supreme Masters already possess completed miniature universes. If their structures were incompatible, they could no longer change them. The 7 Supreme Experts panicked. They attempted to exaggerate or conceal the weaknesses of their miniature universes, but Duan Donghe immediately saw through their lies. After judging their structures, trial results, and potential, he rejected all 7. Every Universe Supreme Master was eliminated from the inheritance competition. Only then did everyone understand why the 2 Holy Lands had never sent their own Universe Supreme Masters into the trial. Luo Feng also realized how deeply the structure of a miniature universe could affect a cultivator's ultimate future. Then the situation suddenly changed again. Duan Donghe declared that all 28 candidates from the Divine Eye race had lost their qualifications. None of them would leave alive. The Divine Eye race experts erupted in shock and fury. 2 Universe Supreme Masters immediately activated the Supreme Treasure Ice Cliff Fortress to protect their people, and demanded to know why Duan Donghe had given them hope only to suddenly condemn them to death. Duan Donghe remained completely calm. He explained that there was only one reason. He was repaying a debt owed to an old friend,